If everyone in the world lived the way people do in the US, it would take 5 Earths to provide enough resources for everyone. Do you want to know what that says about the way we are living? We have consulted with some scientists, doctors, and politicians about the global warming and climate change. Bill Nye, the science guy, politician Al Gore, South Mountain's Dr. Sian Proctor. This video will be informing about the global warming, climate change, and how it exists, and the 4 effects and the consequences of global warming. But first, let's find out the reasons why you should care from Dr. Proctor.
Hello everyone, I am Dr. Sian Proctor and I teach geology and sustainability at South Mountain Community College. And the reason why I think we should all care about climate change is because we're all going to have to deal with the consequences. Now, there has been controversy in the past as to whether climate change or global warming is actually happening. I can assure you that all of the scientists agree that the world is getting warmer. The controversy has always been why. Is it humans that are causing it to get warmer, or is it some kind of natural cycle that's happening with the Earth? Well, regardless of why it's happening, there is going to be actual consequences for the fact that it is happening. And we all are going to have to deal with those consequences, whether that is sea level rising, intensity in storms, more heat and drought where we are in Phoenix. These are all concerns that are going to impact our lives, both financially, but also physically and emotionally as we live our lives over the next decade. So climate science, it's real, it's happening, get involved. Thank you.
Next, some facts from Bill Nye.
In years, the CO2 content of the atmosphere moved within a natural bandwidth. But during the Industrial Revolution, humans started burning fossil fuels in increasingly large amounts. In fact, now, that's around 7 billion of us, rely on carbon-based fuels for 85% of our energy. Humans currently produce around 35 billion tons of carbon dioxide every year. About 55% of that is absorbed by the ocean, land, and vegetation, while the rest remains in the atmosphere. Most of that excess comes from burning fossil fuels. And more than half of the emissions come from power plants and factories, while about a third comes from our various forms of transportation. If we continue the current trajectory, by the time our children reach middle age, the levels of atmospheric CO2 will reach twice that of our planet's longtime natural levels. That is why we're already seeing the temperature increase, and we're already seeing the consequences. 4% more moisture in the atmosphere above the ocean is enough to transition to a new normal. Dramatic weather events, floods, storms, droughts, fires, they're all happening at a frequency and intensity we've never experienced throughout human history. In other words, climate change. We've set this chain in motion, but the truly cataclysmic changes can be prevented if we act now.
Carbon dioxide is not a harmful gas, it is a harmless gas.
The first step is to separate fact from fiction.
Next, some consequences from climate change and global warming from Al Gore.
I could tell you I was trying to.
The next generation would be justified in looking back at us and asking, what were you thinking?
Seen minutes turn to hours turn to years, and I've seen truth turn to power.
When ocean-based storms cross much warmer ocean waters, the storms get stronger and more destructive.
If you could see me the way I see you, you'd be.
Tell me what the last 24 hours have been like.
It's horrible to be in that situation where you can't do anything and you're just waiting.
you look around, there's nothing left. It's just devastation. It looks like a war zone.
It's hard to keep going on. It's turned to hours turning. I've seen truth turn to power.
Don't let anybody tell you that we're going to get on rocket ships and live on Mars. This is our home.
The four effects of global warming are rising sea levels, temperatures rising in the sea, melting glaciers, and global surface temperature. So when you see that sea levels are rising, temperatures are rising, glaciers are melting, and it's hotter than usual in Arizona, you will know, in fact, that global warming is in full effect. What is causing the pollution? Greenhouse gases, the pollution in our cities, us burning fossil fuels, and all this causes the extinction of our animals. It also is what leads up to tsunamis and tropical storms. Sea animals' habitats are in danger, and as well as the ecosystem. Rise in sea temperature also causes bacteria in the sea. So we mentioned 4 real-life facts that are happening with global warming and climate change. So the next time you decide to contribute to pollution of the planet, remember the facts that are taking place due to global warming and climate temperature.
All things ain't what they used to be now. Where did all the blue skies go? Poison is the wind that blows from the north and south and east. Whoa, mercy, mercy me. All things ain't what they used to be now.